Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm okay.
Just okay.
Yeah. It's tough
going
going
on?
back to work after a long weekend, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You needed those few days.
I did. 5-day weekend. It was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
yep,
nice.
Yep. So, but I'm here.
Yeah, you're here.
It's the Mondayest of Tuesdays.
Yeah. At least it's Tuesday, not Monday. That's much better.
That is a perk.
Isis is joining us.
I just noticed I can look at myself up there.
Yeah, but don't.
Which is nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Mike figured that out too. He does it a lot.
I do. I just go, oh, God, you are a disgusting slob. Yeah, there you are.
I catch you.
right
you
there.
zoning out on it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I can see why you would.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, don't.
Okay.
You impressed with
it's
yourself?
harder. No. You know what fucking sucks?
Trying to
is
see how those glasses look on TV.
growing older. You know, I legit I'm not saying. I was starting to kind of get in shape on the road. I was legit working out 6 days a week. I was running like I hadn't in a few years. And now because I'm fucking hurt, I can't do that shit. And when you're older, I can just, every time I eat, I can just feel that I'm like, you're not fucking doing anything active today.
Yeah.
But it's like I still want to eat. And I still like eating a lot.
Yeah.
So
You kind of have to.
I know. Well, you have to eat, but I eat too much. And too much for now a guy who's not doing anything active.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
Well, what a weekend for us, man. It was fun over here this weekend.
Yeah.
I
Always.
thought the pool opened, heated up. Cece and I were in the pool for hours. She's just the best, man.
She's a good swimmer.
She's leaping off the deck now and jumping into the pool, and we're having so much fun. I just love it.
Yeah.
And then you had a exciting weekend.
Yeah,
Got
went
on
up.
the road.
Went up north. Went to Gaylord,
Gaylord.
Michigan. Which, yeah. Well,
Gay.
our friend Dave Landau was doing a show up there. It had been scheduled for a while, like some Memorial Day deal. But Gaylord 2 weeks ago got blasted with a tornado.
Yeah.
God,
God, those pictures are unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a fucking pretty tragic. But
Yeah.
so they ended up deciding to keep the show on, but then make it a fundraiser for the tornado relief.
Yeah.
So we were like, fuck it, let's go up there. So it was great. It was like an all-day kind of event, bands and different things going on.
How different was his set in that setting? Did he do any crowd work revolving the tornado, or did he just kind of get into the stuff?
No, it was just a basic set. Him
Gotcha.
and Matt McClowry, who I love.
Yeah.
But they were actually, it was pretty cool because they were coming in they had done a show the day before in Minnesota. So they drove in, came through the UP, came around
Nice.
that way. But I guess the night before, he mentioned that he was coming to do that fundraiser for Tornado, and they passed around a hat in Minnesota and raised like $2,500.
Wow.
So he walked in with just a stack of cash and was
Yeah.
like, here's from Minnesota.
That's great.
Yeah, so
That's
it was a
very
really
cool
cool
to hear.
thing, man. They did an auction, raised quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was good.
Every little bit helps, man.
Every little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
seeing it, like I said, it was kind of funny. The hotel we stayed at, saw these people in a car next to me, like windows kind of blown out, and I was like, oh, fucking meth heads, Here we go.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, all their windows are blown out, their windshield is smashed, and their car's fucking
Oh, maybe they're living here.
Oh, yeah, they probably
Displaced living
yeah,
here.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
we drove around looking. I was kind of, you could see the path that the tornado took, and I'd watched a couple videos, so I started seeing these landmarks,
Tornado paths are always interesting to me, where it's like 8 feet this way and 8 feet that way.
Yeah.
It is just untouched.
Yeah.
It's fine. And everything in that path is
It's just gone.
destroyed.
Yeah, just that's what it was. There was a Hobby Lobby, it was blown out.
Yeah.
And then across the street, kind of kitty corner, there was a Goodwill that was blown out, and like an oil change place or something that was just gone. And so I could tell the direction it was coming. So we started driving back around, and I went to go that way, and I could see an entrance. It was just a long driveway that went back. That was a mobile home park.
Oh.
I was like, "Oh fuck!" So we drove around the back. There was like like a movie theater or something over there that you could go. And I drove around the back and went and looked, and it was just
Demolished.
I mean, there was the ones that were standing were fucked up. Most of
Yeah.
it was just pile of rubble. There was like shit just stuck in trees and all
Yeah.
that. So it was good to be able to go up and at least try and do something to give back, help that
Help a little
community and
bit.
all that. So
Yeah.
God, I want to see a tornado someday in my life, but from a distance,
yeah.
from about 2 miles away, maybe, or
Have
maybe
you
a
never
mile.
seen one in the distance?
No, not even close. And fuck, I want to though. but not, like I said, from a distance.
A lot of people have that attitude, and then they get swept up in them.
Yeah.
Someone just died recently in the last
close.
week or two, trying to chase a tornado, get a look at it, and ended up being a casualty of it.
They can turn pretty quick.
No,
like, it's going that way. We're fine. Oh shit. No, we're not fine.
When I went out to the Kansas area, there had been a string of a shitload of tornado, like I think like 5 or 10 within a day and a half in the area. And we were talking to one of the guys at one of the shows, and he just showed us pictures from out his apartment of just a tornado from like a few days ago. I was like, holy shit, that'd be weird.
Yeah,
just sitting there, and it's like at
scary.
That point, you know, it's probably not going to hit you. There's times when I know they have unpredictable paths, but there are situations I think where you can kind of know that one's not going to probably get you.
Yeah.
But you're just sitting there looking at it from your like apartment. Oh my God.
Well, this is going to sound petty as far as topic changes go.
Okay.
I have a grievance.
Oh, do you?
It's not I'm mad at tornadoes for wiping out neighborhoods.
Your house or your living or your kids died.
It's gonna sound,
this isn't going to be why is it always the mobile homes?
Yeah.
Bitch, is it?
No,
okay,
but
good.
Having people
deal
with
wrong place
real,
at the wrong time.
real struggles and real issues, and then it's like, I've got a grievance myself. I'd like to
stub my toe.
Yeah. But if you wouldn't mind giving me the
sure.
clock, Jesus.
Wow, here we go. Boom.
All right.
Did you want me to? I mean, it felt like we should have given you some time here.
No. Well, hold on.
You only
Stop that really quick.
You only got 30 seconds. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
You only got 30 seconds.
Do you have a grievance, Isis?
If you want, I can do one.
Yeah. Why don't we start with your grievance?
I'm
I
so
hope it's not the
unprepared.
same.
Nobody
as
told me it was grievance day.
He just told me, and then
I thought
of
of one that's been bugging me for a while, and I forgot about it, and it bugged me again last night. So I was like, I'm going to lay a grievance out there, and I said, E, do you have one?
I told him,
see if you have one. You're always welcome to do it.
Well, I'll have to ponder. Yeah.
Well.
I came up with 2, but I'm going to stick with one. Although whatever. I'm going to stick with this one. So I guess I'll clock myself here. So I get 30 seconds here to air it. I won't need 30 seconds to be honest with you, but. I guess I'm going to go with my grievance is we have the worst fucking ownership sports-wise in this town since I've been alive. And I hate these second generation. Chris Ilitch can suck a dick. I don't care that he didn't earn his money, that his dad did. But if he doesn't want to win, let someone else fucking run your organizations. Because you got this brand new stadium. You did all this shit that you're not doing. You're supposed to go to housing and fund some jobs for people, unfortunately. And you're not doing it. And we're not winning. It's fucking bullshit.
Oh, that was well timed.
That was well timed.
I mean, it's a bit played out.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like it has to. I almost want to hear what your other grievance was because I feel like bitching about ownership of sports teams in Detroit.
No, you know what it really comes down to?
I have hack almost. It feels like you're better than that.
I would think so.
Here's the thing. I have recently, as a kid, I used to think, like, no big deal. But recently, I have really got on the train of like, fuck these people. I think it's like because the Bills recently are going to finally redo their stadium. And it's going to be $500 or $5 billion or something like that. And the owner's going to pay $500 million of it in the city. I'm done with the idea of these cities paying for all this shit.
Yeah,
and then we sit there and go like, well, it's his team and his stadium. It's not his stadium. Ilitch didn't pay for all of this. Especially an NFL team. You're billionaire, multi-billionaire if you're an NFL team. Buy the stadium yourself.
Yeah,
finance it yourself. And so my point is with Ilitch, this Ilitch kid we got in, at least with Mr. I, you knew that fucker wanted to win, and he created Little Caesars. This second generation shit where it's like, oh, well, my dad maybe spent too much money on Prince Fielder, so we got to scale it back. Well, none of this money is fucking yours. You didn't do shit. You're born of Chris or Ilitch.
It's his now.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to do that, at least want to win. That's all I care about. You want to step over the poor people and not build the houses you said you were going to do it? Fine. But say you want to fucking win. Well, if you want to win. If you
as long as you win, just win, baby. Just
win. Hey, I've been a long proponent of the just win attitude.
I know you have.
I don't give a shit. Deshaun Watson can make your team better in Cleveland. Good on you. Deal with the 22 broads later. Let him pay him off. I don't care. Win ball games.
Sure.
You want me to? If that was, I could do the other one if you want.
I felt like it was a little hack, but
okay.
I don't want to be too critical because then you're going to take it out on me and my grievance.
I am the most fair person. You're the least fair person I've ever met.
I am not the least.
So I'm going to assume you guys just called me hack and pussy and old man or whatever. I guess there, but okay. I'll do this one then. Why is it that hotels is the only fucking business model that like? Oh, you can only cancel it 24 hours before, or you check into a hotel and the room turns out to be dog shit. And it's like, well, you already checked in, can't get it. I mean, some of them will give you refunds, but the hassle you have to go through on a hotel when it's like, yeah, you fucking catfished me with some pictures on the internet, and then now it turns out my room has fucking animal hairs in it, and I can't go down and complain. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know why hotels is one of the only businesses to me.
It seems like a road. This seems like someone who's been on the road for a while.
For sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It seems very, very, like most people aren't dealing with this. However, there was one line in there that I appreciated, Ian. It was getting catfished by the fucking pretty photo.
Yeah.
Because we've all been there. Right. And it seems like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. I stayed at a La Quinta.
La Quinta.
Okay.
I think it
is
I
La
think
Quinta, right?
La Quinta.
La Quinta.
so.
Quinta,
You
whatever.
know what? We were talking
I
about
stayed
that.
in one of those, and it was like, oh my God, it's got a kitchen, it's got a living room, because this is when I had to stay there for like 2 weeks to quarantine.
Right.
So I was like, I better have, I'm going to get groceries and like live like a human here. And so I had a fridge and all this stuff, and it was like, this looks amazing in these pictures. This is going to be great, you know? And then you get in there, and the carpet is just dog shit. And everything in there was kind of dated, and it was like, man, this isn't quite the fucking, you know.
Well, you can go back to fucking Kohl's, man, without even a receipt and fucking get store credit on shit. And for some reason, a hotel, like, I'm not saying I stay a whole night. You can still complain then. But I'm saying, like, dude, you check in and you walk into a room and it is just, I am basing this off, you're right, one very specific trip, memory from my trip. But still, like, hotels have this weirdness to me where, like, well, you 24 hours before can't, you know the cancellation rules, and it's like, fuck off, man. I showed up and this is terrible. I'm gonna get fucking hepatitis by sleeping here.
Yeah.
I should be able to walk down and be like, no, thank you.
I think if you bitch loud enough, you can
You
get.
can.
I was going to say the same thing.
It's not like they're just
I have-
standing there with their dick on the counter going, suck it or get out.
Yeah.
You know,
No, but
sorry,
it's just-
pal.
but it's just
enjoy
hotel-
the Hep C.
But hotels just make it a lot tougher on you than any other business
Yeah,
for
of
some
course.
reason. But other than compared to almost anything else you go
Nobody
to.
wants to give you their money back,
I know,
Yeah,
but like
but they will eventually.
you can go to fucking Walmart, buy headphones, use them for the weekend, and bring them back and go, don't work. And hotels, like I walk up,
Yeah.
and, you know,
Well,
and it's
what
like,
kind of hotels? Are you at mom and pop?
no,
shit,
I was
dude,
actually
it is-
at a.
You're staying at the Bates Motel off the side of the highway?
I
Or are
actually-
you staying at Hotel Inn, Holiday Inns?
Well, the one I was basing this off was at La Quinta, by the way.
Okay,
But like,
so
I don't see any Hyatt Regencies on the venture.
No.
I mean, no, you're right. You didn't deal with these at the Fairfields I got to stay at, which is, is what it is, right? I mean, how I got treated at the La Quinta versus the Fairfield was much, by the way, we had a discussion about that. It is La Quinta.
Okay.
But we felt like it sounds racist. Like he sounds like a politician trying to say, like, I know how to speak Spanish. Because most people, La Quinta, right? I think a lot of people say La Quinta.
Maybe I say La Quinta.
La Quinta. Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought it kind of almost sounded borderline racist. You sound like a white guy trying
Yeah,
to.
you're pushing for racism.
You get
I don't know.
the Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
No, it's
No, I
La,
mean-
La Quinta.
Well,
La
more,
Quinta.
more just a joke. Like, not
Yeah.
really that it's right,
Yeah.
but it's just like almost it sounds like a white guy trying to do a Mexican thing.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Okay.
I'll give you that one. Fire
Thank
up the
you.
clock for me, and I'll
will.
fire my grievance off. Okay, my grievance is with flashbacks and TV shows. I fucking can't stand dumb flashbacks. It seems like lazy writing. Ozark, going back and talking about someone's, years old to establish the character. It's like, well, they're already a cartel member. I'm assuming they came from a shitty background.
Yeah.
You don't have to waste 15 minutes showing me all this back crap. Better Call Saul is doing it now. Better Call Saul. Oh, we had to see Kim last night.
Whoa.
Yeah, I went
Spoiler
on.
alert.
I'm real close. That's my point. I'm on
No.
this season.
I'm not going to
so-
ruin
okay.
anything. But
Oh,
no.
she gets killed.
I already kind of
But
figured
Kim,
that
they
might
flash
happen,
back
but-
to her with her mom. Remember that scene from last night?
Yes,
It's
I
like,
do.
do we really need this to establish something? Walking Dead was doing it full
I
episodes.
can't believe you're still watching The Walking Dead.
I'm not. I haven't
you
been.
gave up?
Yeah, I think
Wow.
I did.
You must have been the last-
I have them all taped,
was.
but they've gone so woke. Now, can I make a caveat? I know I've gone over my time limit. I'm hoping I
don't
can
care.
appeal to the judges here.
I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you don't
Have at her.
you don't have the lawyer here. So.
I think Friends did a decent job with their flashbacks with Chandler and Ross and their outfits from the 80s
Yeah.
or Fat Monica.
Right.
I regularly point out that their flashback episodes I thought were very good.
Yeah, like the
Honestly.
Thanksgiving episodes,
Yes.
they would always
If
do.
you put the effort into it,
Yeah.
it can work and it can be good.
Am I off base with this? But I feel like flashbacks, I'm always like, oh God, just get back to the plot line. Just
guess-
get back to it. I
Yeah.
don't need this shit.
That's a tough one because I guess that's all you have to take it on a flashback by flashback basis. Like, is it needed? Or
I would say Friends is relevant. I would say Family Guy, they do flashbacks all the time, but for the joke, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
The lazy writing of these big shows where it's like, really, we need to spend 15 minutes establishing little Kim and, how she grew. Like, fuck
is that the one with her mom being a drunk? Or is there a different one? Another one coming up?
Oh, there's probably that flashback too.
Okay, because there was
that
one where
No, it was about shoplifting. It's just dumb. They're all dumb to me, though. Yeah. I think they're just a waste of time, and maybe it's just me.
I think they can serve a purpose when done properly.
Yeah,
but I believe it's misused too often.
Yeah,
you know what's funny when it's like watching TV? Like, here we are, all these years later to me, and like Lost still has such an impact on how I watch TV.
Yeah,
because like I have this show I'm watching that's on Netflix right now. And I think the acting is kind of, and I think
is it?
It's called Manifest. The premise is that some people were on a plane, they were flying home. The world thinks it disappeared. It never landed, but they don't ever find it. And in their world, they literally just took off and landed, and they come back 5 years later, and they're getting these like visions, yada yada yada.
So it's kind of got a Lost vibe.
Yeah,
to it.
And it's like I like it kinda. I don't think the acting's that great. I think it's a little corny, but I'm sticking with it. But like Lost to me for dramatic shows, anytime I start a show, I'm just like, this better fucking end good. Not end good. Like it doesn't have to be how I want it to end necessarily.
Oh, you mean because
but
Lost was such a disappointment?
Yes.
Yeah. They hadn't written any end. They didn't have an end to that story. That was the problem. They were writing it last minute.
And it's not even disappointment. I understand if I don't like the ending. That's not what I mean. I mean like they did not know where they were going in the end. None of that shit meant anything. The smoke. And that to this day, when I watch shows, I think about it like, please don't be lost. Please know what you're doing. Please have a plan.
Have a storyline to completion. Whether it's 5 or 10 seasons, I don't care.
Doesn't
just
have to
a
be,
point.
Right.
Yeah, you see that all too often where the first season's great, second season okay, and they're like, fuck, we didn't think we were going to get this far. Like, and now they're just scrambling, jumping the shark to keep shit going. It's like,
There was another show I started watching called like 100 or something, 100 Days or some shit like that, where the premise was there was, nuclear war on Earth, and a certain amount of people made it up to this thing. They've been circling around, and now they're starting to test the waters of coming back, right? And the first like 4 or 5 episodes, like, this is fucking great. Next song, then I got into the second season. I'm just like, and I've just stopped watching.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're right. And it must be tough for them. I understand. Art is tough. It's hard to create these things. We've now seen so many shows that were also critical. Yeah. But it's funny because I just stopped watching it. And I was like, but like in the first few episodes, you're right, Troy. I was like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
And like, I'm done.
Well, a lot of times they start so slow because they have to do the character development in those first couple episodes that there's nothing really happens. Sometimes they'll come in and hook you right away.
Ozark.
But a lot of times it's like, okay, well, they got to do all this character building and all this shit. So it's like you got to hold on and weed through the shit to see if it's going to be worth it.
And I gave up on Ozark, to be honest. I'm sorry. Is it still good?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of didn't. Whatever the last season I watched, I remember going, it was okay. I think it was. I definitely made it through 1, loving it. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 where I stopped.
When did you give up on Walking Dead?
Whew. While remember, it's been a while. I don't think I've watched Walking Dead since I've been doing this show.
Really?
And I will tell you this though. I remember that I was still watching it in 2013 because I went to Vegas. I was in Holland, and I remember in Vegas, literally, me and my sister and my lawyer Roger were like, still like Sunday night, like we gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So in 13, I was still watching it. I think I gave up by 14 or 15.
Yeah. A couple seasons ago, when they decided to dedicate so much time to 2 deaf people who signed the whole time.
What?
Yeah. It's like, really, the deaf are the ones that are fucking surviving
Come on.
the apocalypse.
Well, maybe the other senses are heightened. Maybe they can smell them.
Yeah, no.
And there was like lesbians now and all this stuff. And
there's more gay couples and fucking bi couples that are not bi, but gay and lesbian couples.
They have actual trans or no?
Isn't lesbian just gay, by the way? Not just a gay woman?
Yeah.
But they've got a lot of those. And interracial. Apparently, interracial is a thing in the apocalypse. They're focused on.
It's slim pickings. I mean, the pool is shallow.
I would say that.
You gotta
it would be the most justified.
It seems like it's so obvious though when it's like, okay, here's what you are. right? McDonald's, you serve shit food that tastes delicious. You're not a salad place. Take salads off the menu to fucking appease some asshole that wants you to go woke. No one who eats salads is buying them from McDonald's. It's absurd on its face. Walking Dead was this slaughter show that pulled no punches, killed off main characters on a weekly basis. And now it's like, grind to a halt. Now we're dealing with fucking goofballs. And, oh, what do you know? This guy, turns out after 4 years, is gay. And now he's in a relationship. It's like, really? Is this what you turn?
Someone, like,
yeah,
turn gay
Aaron or whatever is like, oh, he's gay. It's like, okay.
Was there any?
Whatever.
Was there
I don't know what this has to do with staying alive at all costs. What this has to do with the plot line.
Was there any level of at least like, whoa, I just didn't even know? I mean, were you watching when they, or what is it just like?
No, they just want to force you to watch two dudes make out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, I see what you're doing.
That's what you
I
get
see
for
what
watching
it started.
a shitty show.
Yeah, but it wasn't a shitty show. It was a great show until it started grossing $1 billion a year. Now you got to placate to everybody. Now you got to be inclusive. So, people in wheelchairs are fucking rolling around the apocalypse? Really? Sure.
Do you have any?
And it's 10 years in now. We're 10 years into the fucking apocalypse. We haven't weeded out the weakest links yet. So our limping gazelles on the Serengeti are all surviving.
Still hanging in there.
Really?
That's how Darwinism works, right?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any idea like what the numbers are now? Like, because
No idea.
To me, it's funny because The Walking Dead it's become a weird thing. Like, I'm someone who still watches The Simpsons, and I will contend that they have some very good.
They've gone woke as shit too.
They had a bad season, but I contend that they have some really good seasons past what people think. But like, The Walking Dead to me has now just become the joke is that it's like sucks, but it's still on.
Yeah.
And I wonder what the numbers are and how many people are still.
No idea.
Did he still do the after show with Chris Dude or whatever and the After Dead and
Talking Dead.
Talking Dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's bad. I haven't watched it, but I've got them all recorded. Like, they were just DVR'd. And so at some point, if I get Corona and I'm laid up for 2 weeks, maybe that's something I dig into and just like force my way through it just to see how it ends.
But you were the one.
I haven't watched it in a year and a half, probably.
But that's still pretty long. I held on a long
time. Yeah, I did.
Bad television.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt about it.
It's too bad because you know what? I even had the comic books at one point. I was literally going through some of the comic books. It was a great fucking show when it was good.
Yeah, I think those when people like that get extreme success, money. And all eyes are on you. You can't help but placate to that crowd, and it sucks because it's like what they did with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was all tits, rapes, fucking. It was the most brutal of the brutal until the woke world got a hold of it, and then it's like, oh, no one can show their tits anymore. Now we just have to show 1,000 dicks an episode. Great,
which is so funny because they weren't watching, and then because of its fame and popularity, which came through those scenes.
Hell yeah.
Now they're like, oh, this is awesome. But by the way, it should be everything that I want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even fucking
listen.
Right.
It's like, whatever.
Yeah. I love the chicks that get famous showing tits and then like, oh, I'm not showing tit anymore. Like,
like your AT&T
that was
girl.
your thing.
That was your thing, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what's her name said on that. The main chick, the dragon fucking mom or whatever.
Right.
It was awesome. Short tits in every other episode. It was great.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
The shameless chick. She was a lot of titties too.
Really?
Yeah, with the
Shameless. Oh, is that the Showtime
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a show I gave up on too that I know people love. I watched like 2.5 seasons. You know what's funny with TV shows like that to me? I used to say this to Jay sometimes. Like, I think it's weird. Like, if you like the character, you are okay. Like, I loved Californication with Dave Duchovny. I've watched it twice all the way through. But I could see if someone didn't like it, going like, dude, I get it. Every episode, he gets himself in a dumb drunk stupor. He sleeps with someone he's not supposed to. Same old, same old. I, for whatever reason, loved it. Shameless, I sat there and after about a season and a half, like, yeah, I kind of get it. But it's weird. So, like, if you like the characters, that doesn't bother you. Right, that doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
But if you don't like him, it's like, yeah, I get it. Okay, can we move on?
Everybody's got their thing, I suppose.
True.
Yeah. Hey, insurance. We all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who even provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasick at 734-455-1900 and get a free no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900 and ask for Brent Wasick at Wasick Insurance.
Call Brent. He'll help you. He helped me tremendously. He's amazing. So the shooting that happened in Texas, these shootings, the Buffalo one's like gone.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know anything about the Buffalo one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. When literally a guy wrote a racist manifesto, drove 3 hours to Buffalo from upstate New York,
Really?
and targeting a Tops grocery store that's in a black community so he could shoot as many black people as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And then a school shooting happened with grade school kids, and it's like, Buffalo schmuffalo.
Mm-hmm.
The racist one
anymore.
I got to be honest, I would definitely say the racist one was worse.
Than the kids?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of them are good, but
kids,
kids. There's something about kids, dude. Sandy Hook still.
Yeah, there's something about them,
all
right.
Yeah, I know most of them are shitty. I get it, but they are the most innocent of. Like we all acknowledge they're going to grow up to be shitty people. All kids are.
Most.
Yeah, 99% of kids are going to grow up to be pieces of shit, like we all are.
Yeah.
But
that's the generation we got to hope for.
But see, those are
the ones that are in elementary school now.
Yeah.
But they're going to be woke assholes. Possibly these older people might not have.
That's just it.
Okay.
There could be a changing of the guard. We're seeing some signs.
Okay, I'm just saying, if I had to pick one of those to happen, I say that the racist one is the one I like the least of those two.
Okay, just because of the race?
Yeah,
Racist
that hurt.
aspect?
I like that. That bugs me more than shooting up these kids.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I would say the opposite. Only because there's a clear motive to why he did it. He was a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then it's clear why he did what he did.
Yeah.
The other one, to just go arbitrarily kill kids for no fucking reason, is baffling.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's why I would take the opposite stance to
Plus,
that.
if I'm
that's
not
a good
mistaken,
point. I like that
if
point.
I'm not mistaken, one of the people shot in Buffalo, I think, was 92.
Oh, wow.
Wow, doing the Lord's work there.
I mean,
then.
was he? And he literally just shot all black people, I guess.
No, he killed
only the black people died.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 10 black people
racist
died.
Doctors, man.
Yeah.
Were they just letting the black people bleed out while they're like, we got a white man here?
Got a white
Save
man
the
down.
three white people.
Can you imagine you're lying, bleeding out, and they're just like
stepping over you?
Shut up, darky. We'll get to you when we get to you.
Yeah, got winged in the shoulder. Everybody.
Only the black people died. That is a fucking.
Yeah.
Well, that's America, I guess.
Well,
I'm
you
just
can't
kidding.
say that.
I'm
you
kidding.
Don't know. But that would be disturbing. If video came out, it was like, settle down, Blackie. We'll get to you when we get to you. And they're just working on stitching up a fucking nick on a white woman.
Throw them over
that
some
would be a
grape drink
problem
while they're waiting.
Yeah. Here, drink this. Yeah, that would be a problem.
Disturbing.
But I'm shocked at how these stories
that it just went away.
Are so common now. These shootings, they do come and go almost in a flash. But Uvalde, what's it been, a week and a half?
Yeah.
It is still the main discussion. And a lot of people are pointing to the police response, which sounds horrible. I'm not going to defend that.
Well, that's a whole nother level to it. You know, the Buffalo thing is sort of cut and dry. Like I said, there was a manifesto. He was caught. He was, it's awful. But there's not a lot of missing pieces left to put together. This one, nobody knows why, trying to figure out what he did, why, then there's the whole cops not going in. There's
what are they thinking?
The baddest man on the planet that fucking went in to get his wife and kids the Border Patrol guy.
Yeah.
The fucking
off duty.
That's the fucking story of the year.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah. Went in against their...
Getting his hair cut. Got a text from his wife that said, help. Took the barber's shotgun and went in there.
Yeah.
That's
fucking
it's incredible.
As all the cops were just standing there trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So that's why, it's more, there's a lot more closure to the Buffalo thing, just because it was kind of tied up in a little bow. It was what it was. It was awful, but there isn't a lot of lingering questions and things to be answered. Whereas this is it just keeps unraveling.
Yeah.
So
hearing stories too about
kids,
kids calling 911 saying I'm shot, and the cops are outside the door, don't do shit, and the girl bleeds out.
Yeah.
And you find that out after the fact, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
fuck, you can't.
The girl
I
that
can't
had to
even
take
imagine.
her best friend's blood and put it on her to cover herself in blood and pretend she was dead.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, I'm not wrong. Like, because you pay attention to this stuff just more than I do. This is all official now, right? These 100%. Like, he went on news, the one guy, right, and said, as an example, or as a quote unquote reasoning of like not wanting to get shot.
I didn't hear that part of it, but I thought it was,
you said that to me earlier. I hadn't heard that either, but I haven't watched all the.
That was actually a thing.
It sounds like they were
using it as a barricaded gunman situation as opposed to a hostage situation, as opposed to an active shooter.
Right.
But how real that is, or
I'll say this.
Do you guys put anything into the fact that this is a department with 6 people on the force? Like, this isn't the NYPD. This isn't LAPD.
No.
Detroit PD. Even this is like fucking Mayberry.
Like 5%, maybe. Maybe
where they don't like. It sounds like one guy was recently promoted, and then he gets to make all the calls, and he made a horrible call.
Yeah.
Made a horrible call. But they're not putting him up the podium, but he's getting trashed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or the fucking idiot, I think it's a female teacher who left the door open.
Oh, yeah.
In the back. She's got 19 murders on her fucking head.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got to feel that, whether that's true or not, she's going to feel that guilt for the rest of her life.
Oh, big time. Yeah, of course.
Here's the thing that always bums me about these stories. And I could have told you this day one when this happened. Oh, if you think there wasn't an obvious trail leading to this conclusion, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And until you address some of those issues, I don't know how you prevent these. Because this idea that you want to go so surface level and act like, oh yeah, we're just going to take all your guns. Like, get the...
Well, I do have
more guns than people in America.
Okay,
you're not taking everyone's gun, and they would fight back if you tried. So that's just stupid. It's surface. It's a weak argument.
Knee-jerk reaction.
Knee-jerk reaction. Scream and piss and moan all you want. The reality is you're not taking everyone's guns. Yeah. And this background check bullshit, they already do background checks. Some of our most unsafe cities have the strictest gun control laws on the books. Here's the thing. Criminals don't give a shit about your laws. That's why they're criminals.
Yeah.
So unarming normal citizens who abide by the law isn't the answer.
Amen to that.
But so you've got to do something about the mental health that's going on with all these kids. It didn't compute to us. Columbine was the first time we saw it on national TV and went, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, who could even dream of something so sinister? Now it's every other week. This just wasn't a thing when we were growing up.
Well, Columbine even on some level made sense to me. Not made sense, but the outcasts, the
Loner.
kids, the losing their shit, whatever, making their like on some level it made sense because like they went back and they killed the people at their school. You know, it for shitty, but it made sense. These kids snapped. They went too far. They did, but that was the first time. But it wasn't just.
Do you know there's fan clubs for Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris now?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Fan clubs.
I believe it. There's fucking prison dating sites. Some people are just fucked up.
Yeah.
But it made sense on that level.
Like the people that bullied them or...
Yeah, right. Like it was a retaliation type thing. They had enough. They did what they did. I mean, wrong as fuck, but like it all added up. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like this kid to just go into a school, like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, to go into that school.
Yeah, like it's just so arbitrary.
Unless you want to amass huge numbers with very little resistance.
I mean, you could do that. Well, I mean, true, I
right?
guess.
You go in and fuck with toddlers. Yeah, you're not going to get much resistance from teachers and toddlers.
Yeah.
In an elementary school. And if you're looking to stack numbers,
yeah.
I mean, I fear copycats for that, where it's like, holy shit, it's the second deadliest school shooting in the history of the country.
Well,
like,
I'm going to be first.
Yeah, there was no one that was going to resist. What 10-year-old is going to fight back? I mean, you're trying to hide at that point.
And generally, I mean, when you talk about having like cops at schools, you're thinking like high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you just don't think about having a cop at an elementary school. I mean, maybe
all of them.
Now, you're getting to that point, but even so, like even to this point, like you have cop at high schools just in case,
Right.
But
so just real quick, my other thing is I definitely think it's a mental health thing way more than the gun issue.
Oh yeah.
But I would say the other question, and I know I don't have the answer for it, but it does need to be asked, like, why does this not happen in Canada? Why doesn't it happen in Australia? Why doesn't it happen in England? Why?
They don't have a Second Amendment like we do.
Okay. That's not a good enough answer to me.
So why did it not happen?
Why doesn't it happen other
Jesus,
places?
why did it not happen in this country until 20 years ago?
But if gun rules don't do it, then what is stopping it in these other countries? So
you think you're gonna get rid of the Second Amendment?
That's not what I'm saying.
Going to fix the problem?
Not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if gun rules, which I agree, criminals every
price of doing businessy, price of living in a free society.
Wow.
So see
it's
that
the
cost. Now then you are at a point where you're just saying this is okay.
No, I'm absolutely not saying it's okay.
Why does it cost of living? So you
it's the cost of being in a free society with a Second Amendment. Yeah. That you're going to have these instances take place.
I mean, I can't speak too intelligently on it because I don't know all the things, but I do know, is it England that like banned fucking guns? Or
are you talking about very recently?
No.
Australia, Australia did after a mass shooting. Sweden.
Oh, it might have been Australia. Yeah. After
Australia
like 10, 20 years ago, something like that. And then they've had like 4 murders. They have like 4 murders a year with a gun. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe there's 9 million stabbings a year. I don't know.
There's a lot.
Right, but literally, I mean, like I believe like 4 gun murders.
Yeah.
Like that's a substantial difference. Like there was more than that between 12 and 12-15 in Chicago.
Yeah. For sure. No doubt about it.
There's got to be something to it. But now, I'm not saying take everybody's gun, but to act like,
and I'm not saying that either.
No, I know what I'm saying is like, but to act like there's no correlation like it can't work is not necessarily true either.
I think there's absolutely correlation. I think it's worth mentioning that this shit didn't happen before 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like what happened in the last 20 years? What sort of people are being raised a certain way to feel like that's the answer they're going through? And I don't know what you blame that on.
No.
I'm not saying, and I'll be the first one, I'll be the last one to turn in my gun. Okay. You get everybody else to turn in their guns, and then I'll turn in my gun. How about that?
Well, and
right,
and it's what everybody's going to say.
Right. Because it's not reality. And here's the thing: this administration loves talking about root causes. We're going to get to root cause of poverty, or root cause of immigration, root cause of gun violence. There is a root cause here. Something's going on with the mental health and stability of young people.
Americans.
Period.
You need to say young Americans.
Yeah, fine.
But
you're not, dude. This country has a Second Amendment. Like it or hate it, it is what it is. You're not getting rid of all the guns.
No.
So how about we address the actual issue of something? Kids have been going to school. Kids have been going to school with guns. In Texas, they have hunting clubs in their high schools. Kids often pull up with fucking ARs and hunting rifles in the back of their truck to high school, right? So these people aren't shooting up schools and blah, blah, blah. It's a mental health issue that's going on.
Oh, it's absolutely
and I don't know
true.
how you address it, but one thing you notice in all these stories, 100%, you do not take a normal kid who was popular in school, doing well in his studies. No, there's always stories that come out where it's like, well, no shit, this happened.
Yeah.
He got punished for it 4 years ago about bragging about in his senior year he's going to go in and fucking murder all his classmates.
Yeah.
They
the
talked
kid in
about
Oxford. I mean, literally like that day.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's generally things. Ian and I had a great talk about it the other day of it's not a gun issue. It's a mental health issue.
It definitely is.
Absolutely no question about it.
I think Rogan said it best. It's a fucking mental health issue. Masquerading as a gun issue.
Very true.
Right?
Identifying as a gun
Identifying as a gun issue.
And I told Troy the other day when we were talking about this, dude, I'll tell you right now, dude, I try not to be too, I know lately I've come a little more left than I used to be, I guess.
Jesus, a little.
No, but well, whatever, man. But I mean, I don't believe in big government. I really don't for the most part. But you know what, man? If I had the option to once a month go to free governmental, therapy, I'd fucking go.
That's what we were talking about.
Every month.
If you're not going to have
Fuck
socialized,
And that's
healthcare, why don't we start talking about socialized mental health care?
Yeah.
And something on that level, exactly what we were talking about, like a monthly type of thing where everybody, like these people, those people that commit this stuff, the signs are there. The problem is they're not seeing anybody. They're not talking to anybody. I'm not talking about in somebody's office 2 days a week, that kind of shit.
No.
But some sort of oversight where you have to check in with somebody. Just some relationship, some touching base. Mm-hmm. And when things start to change, like, okay, as long as you're going month after month after month, you know what I mean? Yeah, a little half-hour talk here and there, whatever it is, you're boom, 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 everything's fine. People can bullshit that. I know that. but
it's something.
but some people can't. You know what I mean? Like when they start to notice there's a change. Okay, now let's focus in. Let's address it. You know, you can skim across the surface for most people when it's fine, just status quo, day after day, same. But a lot of those people, I gotta believe, show those signs. You know, have a difference in their mentality and their thinking, and that it would pop up. A trained professional would go,
Yeah.
okay, maybe we need to focus a little bit more, and then however that works, I'm not going to act like I have all the answers.
I would go to therapy once a week, to be honest with you, if I didn't have to pay for it. If I didn't have to pay for it, I'd go once a week, man.
Okay.
But I think that
we would be such a better society if we had universal mental health care.
It'd be. I agree with
maybe.
T-Roy that it would be better than even actual healthcare.
I agree.
Actual
I
healthcare.
totally agree.
Because health stuff is just like whatever. I'm gonna break my arm, whatever. That's gonna happen. But mental health, if you had people out there having somebody to talk through some of the shit that we all go through, especially.
I think there are programs if someone wanted to get into.
Well, I mean, yes and no.
Maybe not as outwardly obvious.
Well,
but
right. There's.
I'd have to just know it.
Here's the thing. Here's where I'm going with this.
Now, you're talking about poverty level, you're talking more like social work, and that's a completely different type
that's
of
fair.
That's a completely different thing. So,
but majority of these now, I don't know. It sounds like this kid was not living high off the hog, right, in Texas in Uvalde. But most of these are affluent, well-to-do families that this shit happens. Whether it's the kid in Beverly Hills whose dad was a movie producer and he fucking went on a rampage in his BMW, or Columbine is a great example. Columbine's a very well-to-do area.
Yeah.
Parkland is a very well-to-do area.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of these school shootings are not just like poor inner city kids who fucking no, it's rich, affluent, entitled pricks.
I've told my buddies.
I'm not talking about doing it for people that can't afford it. I'm talking about doing it for everyone across the board.
I understand.
I mean, almost mandatory. You know, I mean, not that I'm all for mandates, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like, just make it normalize it.
I
so
think
that
mental health care is becoming normalized. There's a lot of platforms, whether it's the NFL, Major League, all the major sports are all addressing this now, and players that are currently active coming out talking about their depression and mental health. Kind of destigmatizing the whole thing.
It is getting
which
better.
Which is a great first step. I mean,
it's
a slow process.
Normalizing it for sure, but these kids they're not going to seek help. I mean, some probably do, and I'm sure there's probably been quite a few of these that have been averted because of mental health.
Your boy, I don't think the woke Bay would have gone down the shooting route, but his example of like going to a therapist that wasn't just telling him
what he wanted to hear,
wanted to hear, a mom who actually stepped in.
I read stories like this about the kid in Uvalde, and it's like, shit, man. Like, knowing the 4 years ago he threatened to blah blah blah, and they didn't do anything. Now videos emerge showing him holding up a clear bag with a bunch of dead, bloodied cats in it.
Ooh. Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Well, so is that serial killer 101, by the way?
It is. Yeah.
That's like
start killing
first
animals,
thing on
right?
the checklist.
Hey, don't fuck
Practice
with cats,
on animals.
am I right?
Yeah. According to video footage obtained by the New York Post, so graphic they had to blur out the bag. The attacker seen smiling in the footage while sitting in the passenger seat of a buddy's car, holding up a clear plastic bag with at least 2 bloodied cats visible inside. He was previously rumored to have a fascination with dead cats and threatened to kidnap, kill, and rape girls who shunned him online. David Trevino Jr., who is related to the shooter's grandmother by marriage, told the New York Post that the attacker was known for harming animals. The shooter was known for hurting cats. He liked hurting animals. I'm told he killed cats and carried around the bags of the bodies for shits and giggles.
Jesus Christ.
He's not all there. The video raises all sorts of red flags. Hurting animals in the state of Texas is a felony that would have automatically barred him from being able to purchase the guns that he used during the tragedy. He would go to the park and try to pick on people, and he loved hurting animals. High school classmates said in an interview. I remember there was one time we saw him beating a little dog senseless. A second classmate classmates saying that the attacker would hurt animals and that he was not a good person.
It seems odd.
He
none
was
of these
hold on.
people,
He
sorry.
was not a boy that was bullied. He would try to pick on people and fail, and it would aggravate him. A lot of people knew him. We knew he wasn't mentally healthy, and a lot of people agree that we probably should have said something.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
well, here's
yeah,
the problem: is
okay.
everybody's saying it now?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's
Is everybody's
always the
saying it
problem.
now? Is everybody
But
look
if-
at this and like, wow, that guy, that's the kind of guy that's going to shoot up a fucking school one day? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
he
if you
fucking
go
did?
down Troy's route where we all are just going to it, I say Troy's route because I think we both kind of agree on it. but
well,
whatever.
yeah, it was the
But if we're
conversation we had upstairs. Yeah.
all just going to a thing maybe once a month even, then maybe you talk about, man, I got this kid in school. I'm kind of, I don't know, more than just you saying it to each
Well,
other.
it's
on
never going to happen.
I know,
But
well-
the problem is, the problem I see in society, and I don't really have a strong gun, whatever. I believe in the Second Amendment, and but to me, the argument immediately shifts to gun control. Blame the guns, and it's like, no. What about all those facts that this community knew and nobody did shit about?
Yeah.
Nicholas Cruz down in Parkland, same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Everybody knew that kid was fucked up.
Yeah.
He talked and bragged about shooting up a school like that was his end game goal.
Oxford,
So-
the kid had his gun in his backpack in the fucking principal's office.
Yeah, in a meeting.
And then went right back into school with his parents and then went and fucking shot. You know what I mean? There's-
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, so yeah,
But I think that's from not having the protocols in place. Again, if you had these things being talked about, and eventually there'd be more protocols that there was actual
and it's a fine
direction of
line.
what to do.
And that's why the mental health side of it is because is different. Because just like you said, it's a fine line. Because until you commit a crime,
Yeah, it's
you
just a
can't.
thought crime.
It's a thought crime. You can't punish somebody. You can't take away their guns. You can't forbid them from getting guns. Things like that. But if you're on that side of it and you start to see those signs, that it's a different aspect of than just the criminality of it, or
Right.
okay, well, innocent until proven guilty. Well, unfortunately, generally when it's proven guilty, it's because they killed people.
Yeah.
If there's any way to
I'm not-
get involved before that, I'm all for it.
And I wouldn't be for these meetings, these therapists.
Oh my God, get off of me. It's never going to happen.
No. I'm not.
Why not?
Well,
Because it's just not.
Well,
it's just not. They're
it's-
not having
well,
fucking mandatory
you're,
therapy.
No, not
okay, then we're just
mandatory.
okay.
But
No,
it's
no,
just
we're
what's
not
happening.
okay. I'm saying address this. Why don't you want to address the actual facts
is
of
the
this?
issue.
Do you think that kid would have gone to therapy and it would have helped? He's been talking about school shootings for fucking years and years and years. He's a sick, twisted
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Well, maybe
then-
one of those other people.
Then where we're at is then we
might
just
have
say,
said
oh, wow.
something.
Let me here's my thought on that is I think most people think someone else has it. As a society.
Yeah.
You go, I don't want to, that fucking weirdo that's been marching up and
Nobody
down the
wants
street
to get
talking
involved
the moon.
anymore.
No one wants to get involved.
No.
And they go, hopefully he doesn't come to my house.
You know what?
Well, then he goes and shoots up a school and everyone goes, yeah, we saw him fucking eating tree bark and shitting in the streets for months and torturing animals.
It's a great point.
Great. You did us a lot of favors by not addressing that because no one wanted to get involved.
What's changed is it used to take a village to raise a child.
All right, Hillary.
No, I mean, in all honesty, like anybody's parents could discipline you.
Yeah,
like
spank the shit out of you.
Right, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Because it was a community and everybody. Now, nobody wants to fucking get involved. You see video after video, like these
Oh, it's
maniacs on the
shameful.
fucking
Shameful.
subway. Nobody does a thing.
It's the most shameful video out there.
It's horrifying.
Cowardice.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's where we've become, and that's where we've lost this is the sense of community of being responsible for each other.
Yeah.
And
Or giving a shit about each other.
and giving a shit about each other.
Yeah.
Of reaching out, instead of that kid being a fucking whack job and just ostracizing him more and pushing him farther and farther away instead of, reaching out to him. That's where we are as a society. And that's why we're fucking doomed.
It wasn't a thought we had. It wasn't a possibility when we were in high school that someone could walk into the building and shoot the place up. I don't know if it was a thought for you, E, that was a
Not
possibility.
really, no.
It was
No.
not a possibility for us.
No.
It just wasn't.
No.
And so now it is a thing. I mean, and kids are joking about it now. This 10-year-old kid, and I love this.
Well, then you're going
Down
down
in Florida.
social media routes, dude. Honestly, there's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
shit
yeah.
with social media, with
Totally.
fucking a very individualistic society that we have at this point where, like you guys are both saying, that's what we are. We're very individualistic. It's
Yeah.
just very
Yeah.
mine, do my thing.
Florida stepped up this last week, and I love this. I don't know how you guys feel about this. Some would say it's child abuse. I fucking love it. Florida sheriff, whose detectives perp walked a 10-year-old boy and published his mugshot for threatening a mass shooting at his elementary school, says the public disgrace is scaring kids straight. The vast majority of parents come forward and tell me, thank you for doing that. My child is now afraid of the consequences. Sheriff Carmine Marceno said, it is changing the way we behave. It's changing the way children think. He touts himself as the state's law and order sheriff. He made an example of Daniel Marquez, 10, after he sent a slew of text messages featuring pictures of assault-style rifles with a written threat that said, get ready. The boy was arrested, charged Saturday with making a threat to commit mass shooting. His mugshot and video of the arrest were released shortly after, all over the country.
Yeah, it's garbage.
You think so?
It's garbage. Because, great, they did that. But do you think that's actually going to... If somebody's going to shoot up a school, do you think they're worried about the consequences? Do you think it's because they don't want to get caught doing it? No, when you get to that point, you don't give a fuck. You're either going to off yourself, have suicide by cop, or you want the fucking fame and publicity that comes along with it. So, while I'm all for
the thought behind it,
of not sweeping it under the rug, of making an example out of people, like, hey, you don't even joke about it, you can't even say that stuff,
right?
Let's scare, I can appreciate that on some level, but the reality is the ones that are actually going to do it are not afraid of going to prison.
Of course not.
Right. So what's the deterrent?
I'll tell you what the deterrent is. So
public shame?
So no, not at all. So there's 10 people in the country who are actually going to shoot up a school or try to. 5 a year, right?
Okay.
For the other 99.999% of people that think it's cute to get a day off of school and joke about this shit, hammer them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
Of course.
This kid's fucking around sending pictures of money, guns, get ready with a picture of his school.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't care. 10 years old. I want it to be like it is at the airport. Don't even mention bomb. Don't fuck around. Don't joke. Everybody knows it because the penalties are immediate and harsh.
Good.
And you don't fucking do it.
And prosecute.
For the 4 people a year that are going to make a bomb joke at the airport and get tossed, fuck them. It's for the 99.9% of people who are getting so comfortable with this stuff, they feel like they can spout off on social media without consequences. And this sheriff is going, might be a fake threat, real consequence.
Oh,
fuck you. And I have no problem with that. None.
I mean, I don't know how dismissive they are on threats like that these days. It seems like over the last few years they've gotten a little more serious about that.
But I don't know. The crime rates are through the roof in this country, and we've been watching videos week after week after week of people smashing, grabbing, just walking in without just knowing they're not going to be prosecuted.
Yeah,
So we can continue down that road and not address that, or you can have sheriffs like this go, no. We are not fucking around here when it comes to our children. You are not going to make jokes. You're not going to make threats about this shit. This shit is real, and there's real consequences.
Fuck yeah.
Good. Put a 10-year-old's mugshot up there. Let him explain that for the next 30 years.
Press fucking charges on the kid. Send him through juvie. I don't give a shit. At least put it on his record.
But I agree with you. To the fucking mentally unstable people.
That it's not going to actually change anything is my point. Is the ones that are going to do that, that's not any kind of a deterrent. That's my point of like, oh God, whoa, shit, you see what happened to that kid? Oh, I was going to go shoot up the school, but man, he got publicly shamed. So
what do you think of hardening schools, by the way?
What do you mean by hardening?
Well, having an actual cop on scene at every school, like every school, one entrance into the building, one entrance out, they've talked about, and having someone there. These pussy kids are scared of the cop with the gun.
Well, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I know.
Fuck off. That's not my concern.
Yeah. You'll learn to appreciate Officer Bob when the bad guy comes fucking racing through the door.
I mean,
it's too bad because I know you hate, and I know it's not going to happen either. But the reality is, if you actually address some of this stuff, but if you did, do you think that's not mentally fucking going to be on a kid? From now on, every kid, the rest of it in America, that's our deal. That every school, every place has a cop at the door.
Yeah, some sort of security, retired cop.
Yeah,
sure.
What does that say about our country? Not a lot to me.
Okay, but we have a problem we need to address.
And that's not the right way to address it to me, though.
So take all the guns away, that's the way to do it?
That's not, I've never said that.
So we're going to get 500 million guns off the streets?
I've never
So then
once
what's
said
your
that.
answer? mental health for everybody?
I've given my answer.
What? Mental health for everybody?
Yeah.
That's
everybody has to go to
That's
mental
not
health.
the answer, but it's a very big answer.
So
to me.
maybe it's not the answer, but it's a very, very big help to have a deterrent standing at the front door.
I know, but I think
Right?
mental health
but
is
you're
a long-term, the long-term
That's fine.
solution. In the short term, yes, we need to protect our kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you lock your door at night, or do you just leave the door wide open and hope no one comes in?
Actually, no. I always tell my parents not. I won't even lock it. But whatever.
I understand, but you know what I mean. To my point.
Yeah. No, of course I get it. I'm just saying, like, to me, man, dude, for me, thinking of America as the country that I like to think of it as, that's a real fucking bad step. I'm not saying it's not necessary, but the fact that it's even necessary is so terrible. And think about what that looks like. Every fucking elementary, middle school, high school having a fucking full-on cop just sitting there, that's going to have consequences too, man.
Like
and
what?
maybe the fact that kids are just gonna you'll be 100% now just comfortable that we live in a police state.
Hey, to your point earlier, ding yourself again. When you ask these questions, when this was all going on, especially like the Oxford, and you're like, this doesn't happen in inner city schools.
Yeah.
This always happens in these affluent areas and
Yeah.
things like that. Well, because most inner city schools have fucking police.
Yeah.
So
I always
is there a correlation there? Who knows? Maybe,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
I've also always
Does it
said
make you
this
think
at
you're
the
living
one-
in a police state because every bank has a security guard in it?
They don't though. I don't think.
Most do now.
most
yeah.
Do they?
do, yeah.
I don't even. Well, I don't go into banks.
But they're. I mean, that's just that's security.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Well-
any federal building has law enforcement, cops. They're all protect those places, but we don't protect the schools. Why? How much would it cost to put one cop just as a deterrent?
Yeah.
To know that this isn't just an automatic safe zone, gun-free zone, soft target. That you can just walk in and start shooting. I agree. Guns are not the answer, but having a cop there is just like, to me, is like a minor inconvenience. And maybe it even builds bridges between cops and what young people are told about cops.
Yeah.
Targeting them.
Very true.
Because that cop is not going to be targeting everyone. He'll be friends with the kids in school.
Not gonna be busting them down, frisking them.
No.
Checking for weed.
Okay.
And I think his only job is to never look through cars and
Never.
lockers.
No.
Fuck that.
No.
You're here for one job, and that's
Security.
to make sure
That's it.
that someone that doesn't belong in the school doesn't just waltz right in and have soft targets galore.
Yeah.
To
I mean, sometimes things happen in the school that would be nice to have an immediate response to.
True.
You know?
And you know what? In reality, it's a short-term plan. I'm not even. I would take it, but if that's all we did, if that's what we did, and we just sat, okay, cops at every school.
No.
Then you're not solving
No, it's a
anything,
stopgap.
really. Like
that's all
will,
it is. I mean, that's. I mean, we obviously have a problem.
It would be a very
there's-
short-term solution.
There's way too many kids being killed, innocent children being killed in this fucking country. And by whatever means necessary to protect them,
Well, suicide rates too, by the way.
Yeah.
How high those are. That has nothing to do with
You know,
guns. Doesn't
no, I understand that, but I mean that's obviously again that's another mental health issue. But you're gonna whack yourself. That's one thing. Fine, do you?
Right,
Don't take fucking don't do it in a blaze of glory and go take out fucking Mrs. Rotten Twat's fucking kindergarten class.
I would concede to you know what? Fine, do it. You're probably right. Probably the better short-term solution is a way to stop these probably from happening like they do. But I think it's a very Band-Aid on a much larger.
Okay,
larger
then what is the tourniquet for you? What is the fix? Because a lot of emotional lefties say the same thing. This isn't good enough. Okay, well, what is? Because if your reality is to get assault rifles, which are basically
then I think the richest the richest country in the fucking world could pay for some fucking mental health kit. I know you don't like, but that's what I'm saying. We're the richest.
Well, no,
country.
I don't like you repeating it every 5 minutes.
Well,
I get it.
But I've given the solution to me.
So you think that's the solution to
I think
the
it's
problem?
a massive solution. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you think if we just had school counselors or state-funded or federally funded mental health facilities that everyone would go to those and that would fix the problem? I'm seriously asking.
I think that in this country, even if you take away the shootings, there is such a level of depression and that is amongst the citizens of this in general.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I see other places as much from what I can tell.
Dude, this is a problem on such a larger scale. We can pinpoint the depression. We can pinpoint the guns and the school shootings and the disregard for human life and the lack of compassion for your fellow man. And it goes back to 2007. It goes back to 97 when the internet started.
Right.
It goes back to it would be national news if one school shooting happened in 1991, and it would be huge news forever.
Right.
And but isolated incidents of violence and people being pieces of shit in their community would be isolated to Portland, Oregon, where it happened. It wouldn't reach the Detroit news.
And some of this
it wouldn't reach the national level like it does now. These kids can literally search school shootings and just fucking gobble that shit up as poison for months, if not years on end. They can read and fantasize and glorify.
Well, some of my
These
complaints
are
would be
anti-heroes to them.
I agree. But some of my things, like, I don't even consider this a leftist thought, because some of my thoughts would be that a lot of the left-leaning things, like the trans stuff, like, you know, like this just everyone's okay and stuff like that, like this stuff your boy, again, the woke babe was talking about, where he was going to his trans friends that don't talk to him anymore. They only talk to him because he thought he was trans. So I don't think this is just, to me, like, I think a lot of the left's or like how they go about these things are causing the mental health.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of this just like acceptance of mentally ill, stable people going, no, you're okay.
Yeah.
So to me, this isn't a leftist issue. It's just an issue of, it's like a human issue. And I know it's unrealistic. I'm not saying it's realistic, but I think that there is such a problem. With people.
But dude, it's really
I don't think
hard.
it's as unrealistic as you think.
But nobody wants to hear the truth anymore.
Well,
nobody wants to acknowledge.
Well, you can't. Doctors can't call people fat, right?
No, you
For
can't
example,
call people
like,
fat. You can't say, "Hey, man, maybe we should have you seek mental help because all of a sudden you think you're trans." Like, you can't do that. You just have to affirm. You know, come up with 70 genders. Why not?
But if
just
we were
affirm. That's not normal. That's not healthy.
Right.
You're not helping these people. So if we can't do that on a medical level, how the fuck are you going to do that on a societal
Well,
level?
my hope would be, though, is that you're saying, like, oh, you can't say because you're trans, you need to go see a therapist. My hope would be, in the perfect world, we'd all just be going kind of once a month, and maybe
it would be normalized. It would be like going for your, checkup
right.
at the doctor,
like, you
going
wouldn't
for an annual physical, things like that.
You wouldn't be going because you're trans. You would just be going because, hey, you get to go to therapy one
and you
day.
didn't go because of that. It would be normalized to where that was just sort of the routine.
And then
like
they would talk to you, go, what do you think about this? Why do you think that? Do you think that is that really how you feel?
Listen,
Whatever therapists
I promise
do,
you,
I don't-
every single fucking person in this country could benefit from fucking therapy.
Yeah,
every
probably.
single, not even probably, every single fucking person, as long as it's legitimate.
I was going to say,
well,
if you get the right therapist, sure.
Real therapy. I mean, of course. That's what I'm saying. I mean, somebody could tell you to go fuck a dog if that's what they want to tell you to do. But I'm talking real, actual therapy. Okay, I mean, you can pick it apart all you want, and even that was part of our conversation. Is that if you're going to saturate the market, just like everything else, there's always the one
shitload of bad lawyers out there, right?
Exactly. You're going to get the worst fucking
How many
therapists.
How many therapists would you need to do a monthly eval on 330 million people?
Well, I mean, it doesn't even have to be.
I haven't worked all the whole plan out. I should say, but I mean, I don't mean.
But
that's
telehealth.
fine,
No,
that's
but listen,
fine.
the telehealth has changed things. I mean, like therapy has changed dramatically since COVID. It's almost all fucking online and phone these days. It's not sitting on a couch with a therapist anymore. That's that's old school. So that being the case, even if it's just any level of communication. Now, it doesn't have to be Freud. It doesn't have to be the greatest therapist in the world. It has to be somebody that is at
an
least
unobjective person listening
an
to your
unobjective person that is just sort of keeping track of a person's well-being.
Yeah.
On some level. Like so
Here's
that's
one
it.
small problem because I went through 6 therapists.
Yeah.
Right. And I could tell you, I won't bore you with the details, but I can tell you exactly why I was like,
Which
fuck
I'm sorry,
that guy.
calling it the rapist, but I'm
The
sorry.
rapist,
I apologize.
But there were myriad reasons where it's like, I'm talking to someone and then you go, oh, shit, you have no idea what addiction's like. Okay, I'm in the wrong room. Sorry. And I went through 6 of them and I found someone I loved. Her name's Julie and she's in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
My mom knew her, my sister knew her, and this bitch had been through it all. She was like a pro skier, downhill slalom. She would polish off a 5th on her way to work, right? The worst sex abuse, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, like fucking next level shit. Like we would swap stories and go, oh God, damn.
I didn't even, whoa.
Damn.
Dude, you got me beat.
But I can't use her here. I can't even do the fucking thing here. She's not licensed here. So I went through 3 years of shitty fucking people that didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And now if I want to even talk to her, I have to go to California and
there's
do that.
therein my point of the system is broken. Like
Well,
that if it was universal mental health care, you would be able to talk to Julie.
yeah.
Right? I mean, that sort of proves my point. And you're not just automatically like a social worker. You just assign somebody good or bad or, whatever. You network and hey, you know what? You'd be better off for this person. And, but
I think it's a lot more tangled than that, Troy, because it's like a lawyer being licensed in certain states because the laws are different.
I know, but like I said,
therapists are like that too.
It's not necessarily the level of therapy as much as it is just being in touch with someone on a consistent level, on some level, so that when things change, it's noticed and can possibly be addressed. So how practical? Listen,
Yeah,
there's it's there, and is everybody? It's a voluntary thing. I mean, joking in a way about making it mandatory, but the reality is that if you get to the point where it's normalized, like going to the doctor, and there's no costs associated with it, so you don't have to worry about paying.
No one goes like, "Oh, you're going to get a physical? What an idiot!"
Right? If it just became normalized, then I think it could go a long way. I really do. I mean, is that the ultimate answer? No. Is that a huge fucking answer? Yes.
I also think like
you wouldn't know unless you did it. So it's hard to knock holes in something. I think there's a lot more involved with, state by state laws and what technically is someone like. There's a lot there that would need to be unwound, and the sickest of the sick who need it the most are the last ones to recognize it.
Yeah, but listen, no. I disagree because most of them don't start out that way. They become that way. Right? These people weren't just fucked from birth.
I don't know.
Sometimes, okay, I'm not going to say never.
Yeah.
But usually there's circumstances, abuse, other, you know what I mean, bullying, whatever it is that causes them to get to that point.
Plus, if you got a more adjusted overall society, then people would maybe care more about other people. And I'll say this, to me, I would say
empathy is fucking lost.
I know I don't have I never had depression
lost.
issues. I don't have some major issues. I understand that. But over the last year or so, I've really realized that more and more how I have an anxiety. I've been pretty high functioning anxiety for a while. People used to tell me like how I hate being late and how it's because I have to control things. Those are things I can control. Point is, even without a therapy this last year, I really started meditating more. I go to YouTube and I find these guided meditations for an hour. And I sit there almost 5-6 days a week, sometimes 7 now. And then I spend that. And that has helped me a lot. I know that's a small thing. I know that's anxiety. I know I wasn't about to go shoot people up. But the solutions to helping out once you got in there are not always like, oh, this person needs to be here 6 days a week.
Yeah.
It can be little things like, hey, now a professional's hearing someone talk. Have you considered whatever? I don't know.
Even the leading up to that, like you're acting like it's the point where somebody it's just that moment where somebody's going to lose their shit and go shoot a school. I'm talking about like if conditioned through that, having that available for their growing up. Well, I mean, just learning how to cope, learning how to deal, all the things that they can change and improve upon before it ever gets to that point. I'm not going to say it's going to stop everyone, but I promise you, it could change. It could change the course of this country.
That's relying on the fact that you're talking about $1 trillion industry being run by one of the most inept fucking government bodies I've ever seen.
I didn't say it was going to be easy.
It will turn into just what every program turns into.
I mean, my worst nightmare is that it would be universal social work.
Yeah. Right.
Is the worst nightmare.
And what gives you the feeling that it wouldn't be anything but
would
that?
you rather
I know
try...
you can dream. All right, Mike must say, yeah, you could try.
I'm not trying to dream, though.
But all the programs we've seen have been utter failures. Every single one of them. What makes you think these
would you
fucking
rather
then what is your suggestion?
I don't know. I
at least gave something.
Okay. That's fine. I think there's a societal problem with empathy and care for each other.
Yeah.
You're not checking in on your neighbor.
And how do you address that?
I don't know how you address that
I think that's a realistic fucking possibility of how we start to change the temperature in this country. I mean, that's a realistic thing on how,
I think it's
how
too
do you.
late.
My worry would be,
It's
by the
never
way,
too late.
I think it's way too late.
This so this maybe of
Then just
course
blow it up.
government working, all that
They're
shit.
already doing that.
All
We're
that shit
just
doesn't work.
I'm just biding my time.
So what do we just have? You know, you put the
You're what?
You put the cops at the schools, and okay, that does that.
Souping my time.
But the cops at the schools, man, that does that. Those same people, a lot of those people are just going to shoot someone else up. Go to the mall. So now we put them at the mall. Now we put them. So what do we? The other thing is, you're just going to keep adding security to every single building.
No,
I
I'm
think that's where
talking
that
about
goes.
protecting the most vulnerable people in
Children
society.
in
Children in school.
You're a grown ass adult in the fucking mall. You roll the fucking dice.
Yeah.
You're,
but I think that's where it would go.
you're a
happens.
child who has no choice, and you're basically forced to be in fucking school.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Then you do everything you have
Protect
to do to
them.
protect them. Everything you have to do to protect them. And until you can address the real issues, that's what's causing them to be in danger, you have to protect them from the danger.
That's fair.
And I don't care how many billions of dollars. If you can send 40 at this point $54 billion in guns, by the way, to Ukraine for their citizens to defend themselves. That's what we've done. We've sent $54 billion in weapons, guns, big fucking guns. We can't spend $5 billion to put a cop at every school.
Absolutely.
Really? It probably would cost hundreds of millions, not even billion, to do that. Like, and if you know, you can't say it any more clearly than you just did, T. They're the most vulnerable and innocent in society. You can't get more innocent than a fucking 10-year-old.
You have to,
9-year-old.
You have to be able to protect them.
And
if you're going to put them in school,
if you can't protect them at this point, then we need to do something drastic to protect them.
We never thought we'd have to.
Yeah.
But we're getting to the point where now, unfortunately, we have to. And you have to figure out how that's going to be. And
we could work on all the other issues, whether it's
like
because
I said,
we closed all the mental health hospitals.
Long term, short term, you know, are two completely different things. Like, let's
That's
figure
fair.
out
Like
the root cause, and let's try to solve the problems. But until then, let's try and let our fucking babies stop getting killed.
Yeah.
Because that would be great.
That's
because
fair.
If my kid got shot in school, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, if my kid got killed, period. But like, especially like that.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend the
anger and whatnot that you would have.
You know what I mean?
Like it didn't need to happen.
Yeah. Like I would wherever they fucking buried this kid, I would go dig him up, fuck him in the ass, and then choke him to death again, and then fucking bury him so I can dig him up again
through a seance and then kill him again.
I
think about it. Think about it. We put armed security and bulletproof glass at our banks to protect our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't put bulletproof glass and to protect what's more valuable in society? Our children or our fucking fake money?
I'm actually totally
Green
serious.
pieces of paper.
Are there really armed guards at most banks?
Yes.
I swear to God, I don't think there is the one
Absolutely.
I go to. The
Yeah.
rare time I go to my Chase Bank, I don't think there is. But
Yeah.
okay.
There's plenty.
Well, we're near Southfield. So
Yeah.
maybe not every single one,
Michigan,
but it's very, very common. It is very common.
And it show you the seriousness, how people take this so seriously. I should probably mention, since I didn't do it in the open and we're not quite at the end of the show yet, Amazon link, DetroitCast.com. Click the link, shop as normal. MyPillow.com. Use promo code TDC. Slippers, towels, Giza sheets are the best. I promise you'll love them. Just use promo code TDC. If you go to the website, click on the red radio ads. That's where you're going to get the best prices. Click on that and then use our code. It's awesome. The slippers are great. I love them. Walters at DetroitCast.com. Send your emails there. I get those. I love reading them. I'll read some more in a few minutes here. Patreon.com/TDC Podcast. Sign up. Show your support. It's the easiest way to support us. There's a level for everyone. E and I did some member content, exclusive content today. Yeah, we had fun doing that. It wasn't as contentious as it is here today, but that's okay.
It's all right.
But please show your support there for those that have signed up and continue to sign up. We notice it. We appreciate it. How every little bit helps.
Definitely. While we're totally derailed, this part of the show is sponsored by The Party Pub. If you want to impress everyone at your graduation party, wedding reception, poker night, MMA viewing party, or for any other reason, then you need to contact The Party Pub, a massive inflatable pub that can be set up wherever you choose. They also have all the best party games, beanbag toss, badminton, giant inflatable screens, and much more, including a nacho cheese machine.
Dude,
I found out about.
Not only that, T.
Uh-huh.
Did you know his wife makes the chips like homemade fucking tortilla chips for the nacho machine.
Tortilla tits?
Tortilla tits.
Oh, nice. Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah. I was talking to Hat, and she was like, yeah, dude, he's giving us a nacho machine for
I knew there was chips associated, but I did not realize they were in-house.
In-house,
fucking spectacular.
I'm almost 100% positive that he told me that, and I think Hat confirmed that.
Okay, well.
She makes them in-house. Oh, what a perfect day.
Hey, call Jeff at 586-524-6701 or visit thepartypubrentals.com and take your event to the next level. 10% discount for all TDC listeners, plus 2 fucking free games.
I wanted to say it's not lost on me, the gun stuff, and I don't want people to think I'm like some far right Second Amendment guy. I just think it's a much, much tougher problem than
it is.
Just so I want to give that perspective. I understand E's perspective. I understand what you guys are saying.
I'm a big constitutionalist.
Shut up, E. Okay. At least you guys are coming. At least you guys are talking about actual solutions to something, whether it's real or not. And I can poke holes in it, doing no research myself.
Sure.
But the reality is, at least you're saying something other than, we demand this stop now. I'm for banning assault weapons. Well, whatever bullshit. Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Nope.
It's a stupid talking point.
Yeah.
But I will say, Top Gun came out over the weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to shock you. guys didn't see it already?
No.
That shocks
I'll tell you why. So,
fuck that guy, by the way.
A fucking blowjob over here.
Yeah. Cece loves to eat. She loves eating dirt. Anything
Got
that
some
stinks.
peanut butter down here.
How's the stranger going, by the way?
What's the stranger? Oh. I've learned to use my left hand. That's how
it's no longer the stranger.
It isn't such a situation because
situation.
I've started using.
Was it awkward at first?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took a little longer.
It was fucking hard.
Did you ever give up at one point? Like it's just not going to happen.
He's not a quitter.
I had some sessions that went much longer than they normally would have gone. Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I can do it without, visual aids, but they help.
Yeah, sure.
And so that got hard. And I know I'm saying hard, and it's like, I know.
Stop saying hard.
That got difficult.
Okay.
And finally, I have just enough now where I can, like, hold the phone on my stomach, and I have become a switch hitter, though.
Okay, there you go.
When I broke my fucking collarbone, that was the one lucky thing. The collarbone, holy hell, what a difference. The collarbone was my left.
I had a buddy that broke his right arm, right? And he was a right-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
Oh, my
God. He fucking hit 90 on the gun. When he broke his arm, he learned to fucking pitch and hit 90 with his left arm.
Wow.
Yeah. You learned to jack off with your other hand.
Yeah. It's funny,
potato,
see how that works?
Exactly.
Same thing.
Everybody's got their thing.
Yeah.
Everyone has their skills.
So going back to Top Gun, so it comes
Just
out.
think you're going to have to go back to the right hand to be the stranger.
I think that from now on, I've added a tool to the belt, and I can switch it up, depending on the whatever that the situation requires.
Have you tried the Betty White?
What's the Betty White?
Soak your hand in water for a while till it gets all wrinkly.
It's not a bad one.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
All right, can I finish the story?
Yeah, go ahead. Right. Tom Cruise.
So Top Gun comes out. They're counting on this movie to, like, save the movie theater industry.
Yeah.
Right?
They really
shut up. It's been 20 fucking years, 20 plus years since the original Top Gun came out. Tom Cruise looks great. My dad, it's one of his favorite movies. I'll tell you right now, Top Gun does not hold up. We tried to watch it when I was out there living with them. It does not hold up. But he is so jacked about this fucking movie as a Navy pilot landing on aircraft carriers. Like, this is his fucking jam.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on, E. Let me finish my point about shootings. My dad's birthday was last week. So we got together, did dinner, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And my mom was like, yeah, your dad really wants to go see the Top Gun Maverick movie Friday night when it opens. And I was like, well, T's going to be here. He can handle we had some people coming to do some work at the house. It's like, T can handle that. So I'm free. I could go with you Friday. It turns out my dad didn't want to go. He wanted to wait a week because he didn't want to go into a theater on opening night that he knew was going to be packed for fear that a shooter would come in, like the Batman shooter in Colorado. I swear to God.
Yeah. Shocked by that.
He's like, if you're going to shoot up a fucking soft target, you're going to hit a movie theater on opening night with a movie this big. I don't want to go to the theater this week. I'll wait and see it in a week.
That shocks me.
Isn't that crazy?
I wouldn't even considered it. I know what he's saying.
That's the
but
times that we're in.
That's the times we're in.
You have to consider that. Think about how fucked up that is.
That is crazy.
You have to consider that when you're doing things, man.
He not only considered it, he made a decision based on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Like went in like, God, I hope I don't get shot.
We're all thinking the
Like,
same thing.
I'm
aren't
going to
we?
not see it yet.
No.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
because-
shocking. I wouldn't have done it, but I get it, obviously.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't have made the decision. I would have gone.
You were making that point, E, about what does that say about our country?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we need an armed guard at every school. What does
Right.
that say about us as a society?
We need
Yeah.
a cop at every movie theater.
Every movie theater. Well, they have them, but you know,
Not really.
Yeah, they've got security, I guess.
Nah,
Wait,
not
the same
really.
thing. Yeah, those guys are going to
I've done enough shit at movie theaters.
Yeah.
No.
You're not taking one for the team.
Jeez Louise.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no. You know what I was gonna say was, shit. I was gonna ask a question about him with that movie, and I can't think of what it was now. Doesn't matter.
About Tom Cruise or
Oh, about
my
him
dad,
seeing
or-
that movie. Your dad wanting to see that. I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
He's reliving his glory days.
Oh
Yeah, right. So it didn't hold up. You said though. One didn't.
One
The
doesn't.
original.
No. Which
Do you
is
have any desire to see number 2?
fuck yes.
Okay.
Big time. Yeah. If nothing more than to see it with my dad. And apparently people are saying that saw it like this should be a safe space for man tears.
Yeah.
Really?
So I don't know what that means, but you know, eyes front and
Eyes
center.
front, motherfucker.
Gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. Well, that's good. I mean, if they got some emotion in it, that's actually pretty impressive.
Sure.
Before we get to email, I did want to circle back on a story we did last week, T.
Okay.
that we talked about. Remember the Vodtech football player
Yeah.
that got blown?
Holy shit. Yes.
What
yeah.
happened?
We
What
haven't
came
discussed
out?
this. Oh.
Yeah.
What
They-
came out?
I
Okay.
won't spoil it.
Yeah.
But holy fuck.
But you know, okay.
So this is a football player for Vodtech.
Do you know the story, eh?
His
I
name
was
is
here luckily today. You
Oh,
were
that's
talking
right.
about it,
Okay,
so-
yeah. Perfect.
Isamim Tute or
Yep,
whatever.
Sure.
He's 19 now. He was 18 at the time. This happened a year ago. He was found not guilty
Yeah.
today.
So
In the killing of
he
Jerry
punched
Smith,
and
40 years
stomped
old.
the guy to death.
To death.
Killed him by
Yes.
his own hands in action
Yes.
and was found
Not
guilty.
He wasn't
Okay.
found innocent. He was found not guilty.
Right. Of just all charges, or was there any, like, I don't know how this works, because it just not guilty of murder, I guess, or
He claims he was acting in self-defense when he beat Smith. He went with an old cop line. I love this. He thought Smith was reaching for a gun after the man's true gender was revealed. There was a knife found under a mattress, but Smith did not have a gun.
That wasn't
well,
no gun.
yeah, I mean, he had a gun. But it was
This-
loaded.
His lawyer says the football
Oh, it was
player's
cocked,
lawyer
all right. It loaded.
says this is one of the proudest moments I've ever had as a lawyer. The
man's
defense
still
attorney was pacing the halls as the jury deliberated for some 3 hours. I'm not in shock because it's the right verdict, but always wondering and worrying about whether you convince 12 people. That's always nerve-wracking. I'm just thankful for this jury. It is the right decision, and right now I'm still overwhelmed. When the when the verdict was read in court, his parents, David Etute, reportedly collapsed in his seat while his wife Nichelle sobbed. Etute was in tears too, bear hugging his lawyer. Yeah. So the family of the murdered guy, of the killed guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Angie.
No, Angie Renee. Yes.
yeah.
Posing as Angie Renee on Tinder. Says they're at a loss at everything that's going on. There are horrible stories out there. At the end of the day, no matter what he did or didn't do, nobody deserves what he got. Whatever happened gives nobody the right to react that way. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. He was so proud. Everyone knew he was a gay man. He did not like women. He was very proud of who he was. Regardless of what he did not deserve this. He was maybe 112 pounds soaking wet. He wasn't a threat to nobody. He wasn't a threat to a fly. He wasn't a dangerous person. Nobody has the right to take someone's life. Whatever happened should not have happened.
Now, that's where
Did OJ tweet him? Go, you're welcome to the club.
I know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how it all works.
I don't
feel the seed of the smug one. So I understand. Okay, so I don't know what they charged. Maybe they charged him with first degree murder. Like he went
I
there.
think it was second.
Okay.
And that's like you went there with intent to
right.
murder,
So
right?
like I went there to kill him. No, but like second degree was like I went there, but then I saw a dick, so I killed him because he had a dick. Like that's second
I
degree.
think that would be third degree.
I think that's second degree. Like I think that's like I killed him. You know. Well, but he supposedly just hit him a bunch of times, and he was breathing when I left, but he died. There was no gun. There was no gun.
No.
They said there was a knife that was under the mattress, but he was nowhere near it.
Mhm.
So you were still responsible for this guy's death. right?
There should be something, I feel like.
Exactly. Like you still killed this man. So not even like a manslaughter, not even a negligent homicide. Like, I don't know what the levels go. Like, okay, you know what? All right, well, we're not going to give you the second degree. I mean, Chauvin killed the other guy like 9 times based on everything he got charged with. Yeah, you know, I mean, so there's not varying levels. Like, look, I understand you can't go, okay, it wasn't second degree, but we're going to go with like 7th degree murder because you still fucking beat the guy to death because he had a dick.
Yeah. Well, this is tonight's fuck around and find out story. Okay. Right? Like, I'm putting in that category. I think we should sponsor this.
I agree.
As a segment.
We put it out there, yeah.
Fuck around and find out. You know, the defense attorney, Jimmy Turk, said this was a wicked sexual ruse. Smith was a deceitful and dishonest man who defrauded young men for his own sexual gratification.
Yeah.
And
wrong on every level.
Yeah.
But
well, fuck around and find out.
I agree.
Sometimes you might get yourself
but that
killed
doesn't
for it.
Work to me in the law. I think he should. I feel like the guy should have got some time for this. I don't think it's death penalty.
To be completely acquitted seems hysterical to me. You still killed this guy.
By the way,
like, it would have been one thing if, like, I thought he was reaching for a gun and there was actually a gun.
Yeah,
but there was no gun. You know,
and you can only stomp someone with a gun to the point that they're not a threat anymore. You can't fucking stomp them. That's murder.
Well, that was what they said. I think, if I remember correctly, it was punched 5 times,
something like
which
that.
is
And we
what
would
they
never
say.
know.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah,
you could
probably 150
but
times.
But beating a dead horse. He did go there.
It was not a horse, Jesus Christ. He was a man.
Under some suspicion that he was a guy. I know I said it already.
Hold on.
Okay.
So the guy's 112 pounds soaking wet. Yeah. So that is the type of body that could pull off being a female. Yep. And if that's your jam to trick guys into thinking you're a woman, and you've got a Tinder profile saying you're a woman, not a trans woman, saying you're a woman, and you're blowing fucking guys like that for your own sexual gratification, well, it sounds like you've done that before. Yeah. Probably many times before.
Absolutely.
And you know what? You fucked around and found out.
He did. You know? And again, that part I have no issue with. And that is absolutely the fuck around and find out part. We talked about that. But the real story, I mean, what we're talking about is the fact that this guy was found not guilty.
Yeah.
Like, of any level.
Like, right. Like, you
walk home tomorrow.
Like,
today.
You can play on the team next year.
You killed this fucking dude.
Yeah.
Like,
all those teammates going to know that gay guy sucked your dick?
Yep. They are.
That's staggering to me. That was I sent that to you as soon as I saw it. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, not guilty. Not a lesser charge. Not,
Yeah, I wonder what their options were, because that can get tricky in the courts.
That's what I said. I don't know exactly how that all works.
They didn't have...
But you see it time and time again where a charge gets lessened. Like, okay, well, you didn't have it for this, but you're going to get a lower.
But you also see commonly that if you try to overcharge, try to be some badass prosecutor, overcharge,
that's true.
They're not going to fucking fine for that, and then you're not guilty on everything.
That's true. So I don't know exactly how this all panned out, but it just is crazy.
To me, this lawyer, by the way, again, I understand that like it's his client, but he killed a man. And I don't know what this guy's past records are of his wins and losses, but to say this was his most proud moment of his lawyering career, he doesn't have another one where he got someone off that was literally not supposed to, like, was going to get railroaded.
He's probably proud because he's like, this is the proudest moment of my life. This guy should have at least gotten fucking.
Oh my God, you kidding me?
Manslaughter charge.
This is fucking...
I got him a not guilty plea. This is the proudest I've ever been.
This is better than the fucking glove don't fit. You must have quit.
Yeah.
No, if he said that, you're right. If that's his thought process.
Believe me, that's his thought process.
But I get that.
The
but I don't.
moment as an attorney.
I get that. I don't think
as a human.
I don't think he should say it in the thing because I think you're right. It's proud in the sense of like, holy fuck, am I good?
I lawyered the fuck out of that shit.
Dude, that guy literally, we all know, stomped a dude to death. Yeah. And I got him off on nothing.
He said, I beat him.
When we're talking about solutions to real problems, like we have been all night with, gun control and stuff.
That's what we do. We solve the world's problems here.
Let's at least help the children out. Stop everything. Mm-hmm. Let's at least take care of this issue. It's a Band-Aid on a much bigger problem. That's what we can do. For the trans world, I would say, I've been screaming this from the rooftops. We've been screaming from the rooftops as a show for years that if you fuck around and try to pass as a woman when you've got a cock and balls between your legs, you might just find yourself on the on the wrong end of fucking death.
Absolutely.
Okay? That's going to happen.
If that guy
Should it
wasn't,
happen?
if Angie wasn't dead, I would be all for some sort of a penalty for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily a charge or however
Does it
that
make
fucking
it right?
works. No.
No, of course not. But we're human beings, and human beings are they're prone to snap. And when you start fucking with the whole gay thing, now this kid is going to be known as the guy that got his dick sucked by another guy.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's not much of a problem in society, but you think that's not going to make its way into the locker room and fuck with him mentally? No, of course it is.
No,
Guys on the other side of the line and shit like that,
God.
dude.
Hit you at 2-2. Yeah, how about you blow me after the game like Jerry Smith blew you?
Right.
For the record, I think he's only a cornerback.
Maybe.
When I saw the story,
okay.
I thought he was a linebacker. We were talking at first, but I think he's only a quarterback. So
yeah. So what I would say is like, hey, live your authentic self. But you know what? That doesn't give you the right to lie to people and try to fucking trick them into something. That the only reason you're hiding that information is because you know most guys would not be cool with that.
Yeah, you deserve
some will
to get your ass
most
kicked
won't.
for that. You deserve to get your ass kicked for that.
Right.
Now you don't deserve to get beat to death.
Right.
Well, what if the same thing happened
line,
and he punched him once and he hit his head on the curb and died?
Well, I mean, that's just like any other situation. I mean, people get charged with that all the fucking time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's life. Life is not fair, and that's what happens.
Listen, you punch a guy and he fucking walks away, it's fine. You punch a guy and he falls back and splits his head open and dies, you're facing charges.
But what if you punched the guy because you just found out he had a dick and balls and fooled you into thinking that, and your reaction was to punch him, and he hit his head on the curb?
Your reaction is still not right by the law, though.
Exactly.
It's not that
you still assaulted him.
Apparently it is.
Well, again, that's why I was boggled by the fucking decision that's what that was.
We would assume that normally that a reaction to violence, although might be most people would feel
on
like
some level justified in some level.
It would not normally be.
And again, if that were the situation, if it were a freak incident where you fucking punched him once and he happened to fucking, your punch didn't kill him, but he freaked, fell through a glass table and, pierced a lung and fucking died.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right, you didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't mean to kill him. You punched him one time. This guy stomped the guy to fucking death.
Yeah.
This is a different story. So it's not exactly apples to apples. But
yeah. Well, I would say a clear way to fix this going forward is to be honest.
Well,
I'm a transgender woman interested in men.
Yeah.
And I go by the name Angie.
I gotta believe
Renee.
like I said, there's got to be plenty of dudes that are in that.
Sure.
Like you would be fine.
But
if
you start
narrowed
fucking around
your
with
search
guys
down to that.
and playing this game.
Absolutely.
It's going to end this way more than it's not.
More than it's not. Absolutely right.
Doesn't mean it's right. I'm just saying that's the reality.
Yeah.
How do we stop it? Just be honest. Don't fool people into
Right
thinking
back to that mental health thing. I think it could close up the circle, and I think that could solve some of
it. If you mention mental health again, you're not invited back.
And maybe that's maybe he's starting to quit these guys.
I just was fucking.
Maybe that is sending a signal of quitting these people.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way. It sucks.
Right.
But
yeah, you know what? Yeah.
And I'm sure he was a really nice guy. His family knows him and loves him. That's fine. But Jerry Smith.
Oh, okay.
But
Angie?
the Angie. They don't know what he was doing clearly, that he was fooling people on Tinder
deception.
into thinking, it doesn't work.
It's wrong.
All right, let's get to some email.
Yes, sir.
Joe says, I was at Little League with the kids and shooting the shit with some of the parents, and yes, there are hot moms everywhere.
Damn right.
Are there?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Monkeypox is
Especially
brought
these
up.
days, a lot of people have kids earlier, right? So
No, they're having them later.
It depends on where you're
It
at.
depends on where you're at.
They're having kids later, by and large.
Overall, I know.
Yes. Monkeypox is brought up. I declared that it is a non-issue because breakouts are only happening at gay orgies. This is a...
I don't know if I would say this in that company.
I should clarify because I feel partly responsible for this. The breakouts happened at a gay sauna, which is an oxymoron. Is there a not gay sauna?
Yeah.
No.
No. I'm aware of.
and these two fucking Eurofest orgies. Like, there's no other way around them. They're
Right.
just
It was like
they're
fetish
4 and
fest or
5
whatever
days
that
long, and
was,
they're just
yeah.
giant butt fuck fest. I don't know how else to say it.
Right.
So it happened to come out of there. Could it have come out of anywhere else where human contact was and infected? So I don't know if it's totally fair to say that, it's just a gay thing, but it just happened to be an outbreak.
I would say that
Like AIDS.
I'm not the smartest guy socially, but I would probably suggest not a lot of, no offense, Mike,
Some
but not a
mental
lot
health
of your
treatment?
opinions would I just shout out at a soccer mom situation?
No.
That you hear on the show?
Yeah.
I would probably say that.
Well, that's you. This gentleman is smarter than you and decided to. I proceeded to tell them about the media spin and how it will never happen to us because of the gay orgy thing. I was very adamant.
Very adamant.
I then had an epiphany. What if I got monkeypox? No, I'm not gay, nor have I dabbled. But if for some reason I contracted monkeypox, all the parents at Little League would now think I was into gay orgies. I'm so worried about randomly catching monkeypox and my reputation that I started to mask up. Joking about the mask and reputation. I don't care what those posers think of me. Still getting my free's worth, and we'll donate if we ever catch up. My wife has been off work with an injury since February. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
The more important thing to me is I wish I knew the reaction to these people at the soccer or Little League game.
You heard us talking about it.
Where he
It's productive conversation.
He's used this as fact of like, oh, like a bunch of, MILFs and kind of some dads, and this dude's like, yeah, I'll start from gay orgy.
Yeah, you guys are fine. Don't worry about it. You do any of the butt fucking? Nah, you're good. Just let her rip, Tater
Like,
Chip.
do they all take that in stride, or do they just sit there and like, okay?
Subject, TDC Woke Bay. Fags. Absolutely loved hearing the Woke Bay on the show today. So this goes back a few days.
Yeah.
It's nice hearing some inside perspective on the current climate. But who did he have to suck to get into the studio? Or did Mike have to suck him? Kidding aside, great to hear him or her or whatever. Keep up the good work as of late, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
He didn't have to blow anybody to get in here.
He didn't have to. I mean, he did, but he didn't have to.
Yeah. There was no pressure put on him.
No, it was
he absolutely blew everyone here.
very willing. It was amazing.
No, he you know what? He is someone that has been writing pretty detailed things to the show. Anytime the subject came up, he often has good takes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, we should have the Woke Bay in. Let's talk to him. He's been
definitely.
listening
It was
since
great.
he was a kid.
Yeah, really nice kid.
Yeah.
Hung out with him for a while after the show.
Yeah, we had dinner with him.
Yeah.
What did we serve him?
Burgers.
Burgers. I was thinking
Not
it was
hot
grilled.
dogs?
I grilled.
That's right. We did burgers. I was worried, like, oh God, did we serve the
It's a
fucking
kielbasa,
gay
yeah.
god
Right.
kielbasa or hot dogs? But it was burgers. Garrett, he's a nice guy. You'd love him.
He seemed cool. I listened to him.
Yeah.
He seemed
Miss
really nice.
JPE department update.
Uh-oh.
Muffin Engine Joe. Sonnet 1572. Period serial discussion. Family discussion of periods. Aunt Flo. Author T. Roy. Your humble and obedient servant, NFL Bob.
Oh, that's not.
I'm not giving that a JPE.
No.
Aunt
no,
Flo's old.
That's old.
That's-
Yeah. I won't even accept it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I would think I would. That makes me proud.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't.
That was
Aunt
a throwaway.
Flo is a throwaway.
Yeah, exactly. It was
So-
just in the conversation. I
Bob's-
mean, you've missed some good ones, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I hardly listen at all.
that's a
That's
standard.
your biggest
I know.
complaint about.
That's a
me.
standard reference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aunt Flo is very standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Aunt Flo's coming to town.
yeah.
That was what he thought was funniest out of that? Most
NFL
funny?
Bob, dude, he's better than that.
Yeah.
He's much better than
He's
that.
maybe he's getting older.
I don't know. Seems like he's on my team though. I like it.
All right. Should we do one more?
Yes.
He spoke. The E has spoken.
I like.
All right.
I always like emails.
Well,
I don't know.
we'll do one for Easus then.
All right. Oh
Oh
boy.
boy. Oh jeez.
Shut the fuck up, E. Jesus. No one else can get a point in without Etard repeating whatever moronic thing he's already said 3 times. Yeah, mental health care.
illness.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Literally
love this
unlistenable.
episode. He's gonna love this episode.
Listenable. With Love Boja. Oh, he's going to eat your fucking ass for this one. Oh.
Wasn't Bone Job the one that said I wouldn't? Well, I guess I technically didn't make it around the entire year.
That's
yet,
all right. He
but-
thinks bodies fucking rot through the floor, so you're fine.
What does he think?
Oof.
The body's like burned through the floor.
Just like
Don't.
out of nowhere.
Just don't.
Dead bodies.
Okay.
Don't.
That's okay.
Okay.
All right. Audio issue. And this will be our last one. Hey, my leader. I'm just so uncomfortable with being known as the leader here.
Jesus Christ.
Big Kyle. Is it just me or the last 3 episodes sounding a bit off, sort of fading in and out and odd clipping? It's a very faint fade, but it is noticeable since Massey, actually. Just a heads up, and yes, I'm on the wooden sign, and yes, I'll be donating to Patreon. I tried twice, but got sidetracked. Love the show of late.
How did that
All
go?
the shows. LOL.
Good luck with your ADD.
What were you doing that you guys? You're just about to hit
Squirrel!
that. Just about to hit those.
Bluebird.
That like.
Oh, I'm gonna go
freedom-
do the. Oh, I got a text. Oh,
What
no.
was I
I've done
doing?
that.
Oh, I
I've
know.
done that.
Oh,
In the
I
middle
know.
of texting with someone, get a text,
Yes.
and then go, oh,
Yep.
And on
I
on
see
to the
what that
next thing
says.
of my life.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And that happens.
He twice though.
So
he said
Steve,
he
keep an eye
claims-
out for that name. See if he followed through.
Twice he claims he was typing in the figure.
Derailed.
Okay.
He was derailed.
Well, we might have to forward that to the LSD.
The audio issue. I heard from many of you about this.
Yeah.
And it was not our fault. I mean, I guess it's technically the buck stops here, but it was how the Massey thing was rigged up, and we lost all our channels so he could plug into the Apollo. It literally started there, and then we just didn't have time or didn't notice it first. But what was going on is if we got animated or yelled, there was a
regulate it.
Yeah, it would limit it. We had limiters on there for Massey when he sings powerful. You put limiters on there so they can't fucking redline off the charts and stuff. So all that stuff was going on with our Apollo and with the a lot of the add-ons in there and the plugins. So that stuff all had to be deconstructed, and we did that for extra content that we did last Thursday.
Sure.
Whatever it was, news we didn't get to. I think the three of us did it.
I don't know what days what anymore.
Yeah. Well, when we did that, Trav came over and was, I think, able to deconstruct it. So I think people will be happy.
Hopefully,
with
we're
today's
back
show.
on track.
Yeah, we should be good. We should.
We've always had the
apology.
We've had the issues
No.
with the live stream.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
But that usually is fixed in post.
Yeah.
When it's posted, so that's just on the live stream where we've had some audio issues.
Right.
But that was something different. So hopefully it's all set.
I was making the joke that you did all that audio for a non-apology. Never mind.
There you go, Bone Job. A little more to work with. And on that note,
I rest my case, Your Honor.
All right, let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for hanging with us. We're already halfway through the damn week. It's Tuesday already, so
Amen.
tomorrow's Wednesday. T.
Love it.
Rolling right along. All right,
Hump day.
Mike. See you guys.